Guys, the price of Bitcoin has come down to $103,000 exactly as predicted. So now we're trading at 104.7. And I got to tell you, this is a bear trap. Please do not fall for this dumpage in price action. When we look at the M2 money supply correlation, this tweet has gotten over 100,000 views, which is incredible. Thank you to everyone that gave a like on this post. But you just got to see that this point in the M2 money supply clearly shows that we would decrease with a 70-day delay, which now I believe is the most accurate delay possible between the M2 money supply chart and the price of Bitcoin. So it was anticipated like a month ago that this dip would happen in the first place, or in fact 2 months ago. So I wouldn't be too focused about this dump in price. I think it is a bear trap, and you can go to the M2 money supply and see exactly that literally to $103,000 was the target of this dump when you align it so that you can align a little bit differently. But the range of 103.7 to 104.2, the low 104s, is what we should have expected to see in terms of a correction. So when you look at this chart, this is the point of which we should see the reversal next week. Now, why do I like this chart so much, and why am I depending on this chart so much? And by the way, I just bought in more Bitcoin over on my personal trading account. So if you want to open long positions on Bitcoin here, then you can do so by using the links down in the description below. The first thing, Weeks will give you anywhere between 10 to 100 USDT if you sign up and bind your phone number and email address to your account, and you can use that funds to go ahead and trade. So why do I care about this chart so much? Well, the reality is, this entire week we had so much bullish news with JD Vance, with Nigel Farage and the British Bitcoin Reserve and the Pakistani Bitcoin Reserve. There's been so much good stuff that's been happening, but the price action doesn't care at all. Why? Because price action doesn't care about fundamental analysis. We're not in a retail market where, and this is not a very small market cap asset that can pump based off of retail traders buying into news. This is not Dogecoin in 2020. It's not the case. This is Bitcoin. It's a $2 trillion asset. It doesn't care about fundamental news pumping its price. Of course, this fundamental news of America buying Bitcoin and other governments potentially buying Bitcoin, it's fantastic for the future of its price. It's solidifying the fact that Bitcoin will continue increasing, because the more Bitcoin buying pressure there is, the Trumps just signed the deal to buy 2.5 billion in Bitcoin for DJT. The more buying pressure there is, the less Bitcoin there is to give out to everyone. So the demand is there, the current demand is there, and the future demand is also there. And the supply is finite forever, it's capped. So when you look at the fundamental supply and demand dynamic, the price of this thing is going to explode to the upside. That's true. That's why fundamentals are bullish. That's good for the long term. But technical analysis in the short term doesn't care so much. In the top of the previous bull market in 2021, everything was bullish here, but the markets decided to dump. It's just how liquidity works. Markets follow liquidity. And clearly, after seeing a decline in liquidity, we see an incline in liquidity starting in the next 1 to 2 weeks. So yes, this dump is healthy. When you go to the weekly time frame, you've been pumping for 7 to 8 weeks nonstop and nothing goes up in a straight line. It's completely normal to see a bit of a healthy dip. And if we look at the max pain point for Bitcoin, if we look for a max pain point, then I would say a retest of this trend line in correlation to retesting the golden crossover on the daily time frame. Perhaps if this happens in the next 2 weeks, then that will be the low 100s to $98,000 to $99,000 maximum. We could see that continued retest. It would be super bullish because Bitcoin has retested the golden crossover multiple times before seeing the continued pump to the upside. So I wouldn't be too concerned if that is to happen. You don't see the retest always, but a retest would be very healthy. So yeah, we could come to the upper 90s. We could come to the low 100s. The lower 100s. It's possible, but I wouldn't wait until that to happen, because you may end up missing the gigantic pump, which is due in because of liquidity increasing. So what I would do, how I would position myself, I would be personally in long positions with liquidation below the $95,000 level. I wouldn't keep my liquidation to a point where it's over $95,000. Don't be like James Wynn, who ended up losing $85 million in profits, and now he's in debt, $15 million. Don't go in 40x leverage. don't keep your liquidation price so high. But if you keep your liquidation below $95,000, then you're going to catch likely this massive pump to the upside, which can take Bitcoin to $150,000 by the end of summer. And if you want to trade Bitcoin and open long positions, we're long on weeks, you can use the first link in the description down below to do that. But apart from Bitcoin, I think altcoins are presenting massive opportunities too. We predicted this fake down on Ethereum. You do have resistance. The 200 moving average is resistance. This is a tough place to get over. In the previous cycles or previous price action, this point in price is important. I'm sorry for the messy TA. It's not an easy level to go over. It's really not. Price has been at this level multiple times. So, and you also have the 200 moving average. It's not really an easy place to get over. And we could have a fake down, but I think it's only going to be that. People will call for a triple top. People will expect lower price action. People will call for a Bart Simpson. I think it's possible we can come down a little bit. But after doing so, I think we're going to shoot right back to the upside. So Ethereum is looking like another great buy to DCA into in the next 1 to 2 weeks, starting now, in my opinion. Another one was Cardano. Cardano is seeing a retest, and look at that beautiful exhaustion candle. Cardano is seeing a retest to this neckline, and that could be a potential position you take because Cardano is also following global liquidity. And then Dogecoin also follows global liquidity. You're seeing the minor dip right here, and hopefully in the next 1 to 2 weeks, we should be seeing that reversal back to the upside. So in conclusion, any of your top altcoins that you really like, that you really think there's a good business model and a good future behind it, I really like Solana right now. I really like Cardano right now. If you look at Solana, same sort of situation, right? Macro for Solana, incredibly bullish. You go to the weekly time frame and you have a huge cup and handle. But on the weekly time frame, you are retesting that crucial 200 moving average, which is definitely providing resistance. It's okay. But on the daily time frame, you would be expecting this minor correction. Yes, there is a double top. I don't think it's relevant, but a continuation to the upside from liquidity is what's likely going to happen. But obviously 200 moving average, showing resistance, creating that double top in the short term, not the best. But I think buying the dip in this range all the way down to potentially $140, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but potentially down to $140 would be a very good entry to catch the next leg to the upside. So guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been a very busy week. So make sure to destroy the like button and subscribe if you're not a crypto kid already. And guys, enjoy your wonderful weekend up ahead. And I'll see you all on the next video update incredibly soon. So guys, take care. And as always, bye.